welcome back, everybody. It's Sarcasm Speak. It's Jared and Bob here, and I think to start us out, you have a nice little rant for us.
It's not even really a rant. It's more of a story about being an idiot.
Well, I would
So,
love to hear it.
so this week, yeah, we'll start there. This week, Michaela's away, so it's me and Leo. You might be able to hear him squeaking in the
Yeah,
background. I don't know. He'll be down here for a minute. So I am running around a little bit like a fucking crazy person. Like run here, run there, make sure he can get out, make sure he's not at home too long, whatever. So yesterday, I'm home and I decide, you know what? I'm going to Costco. I it's close enough. I have time. I want to make a porchetta. So I go to Costco and I look because Michaela and I had talked about it about getting like an all-in-one desktop computer instead
yeah,
of like worrying about the laptop situation, whatever. And it's just easier. Like if I need to do anything here, it's just easier to do it on a desktop.
oh yeah,
And never
absolutely.
mind, like my Chromebook sucks. Like it just fucking sucks. So
I mean, it's really good at one thing, and that's the
yeah, but
internet.
even then it's like okay at it.
Yeah,
So I kind of like got fed up. So I went and there's like an all-in-one desktop at like 5.99. And I'm like, you know what? I have no idea if that's a good price, a bad price. I got no fucking clue.
yeah,
So I took a picture and I had been looking at Amazon like a little bit. And for like HP and the RAM and the storage or the fucking whatever the fuck seemed to be like the price. Like it's not a great deal, but it's not a bad deal either.
right.
And I'm like, all right. So I send her a picture. What do you think? Because we had talked about it. She goes, yeah, it looks good. She goes, I'll send you half if you want to just grab it. I'm like, yeah, I'll be able to go back either tomorrow or Friday. Like I'll be able to get it. So back to my porchetta. No issues there. I did buy an 8.5 pound pork belly
Oh,
whole.
let's go.
Uh, it's the smallest one they had.
Yep.
I don't know who's expected to eat that much porchetta, but by the time this comes out, that will be someone else's problem because it'll be cooked and eaten and whatever. Um, it's like one of those things like I want to make it. This is where I can get whole pork belly. This is the situation we're in here.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you gonna go with the fennel pollen?
no, I'm not ordering that shit. Fuck that. Too complicated. I saw someone make one. I think she used I might have sent this to you guys. Uh I think she used fresh rosemary, sage, and the top of the fennel.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
like the
The
raw
fennel, the
fennel, not,
fennel
not
root.
fennel, not fennel seeds.
Yeah.
And then so she dices all that up, puts fennel seed, black pepper, probably crushed red, salt, puts that in there. She used pine nuts and garlic and then mixed it up with some olive oil, making almost like a little bit of a paste.
Yeah.
Not exactly like that. So I'm not doing the fennel pollen thing. Fuck that. I'm probably gonna go something along those lines. I don't know if I'm gonna do it that exact
Right.
method, but it seemed easy enough and simple enough and good enough for me. So that's my plan. Then so I leave with my pork belly and something else. Doesn't matter. I go back home, and then in the meantime, Michaela had seen the picture, and we had our conversation that I already talked about. Whatever. So she sends me half, and I'm like, all right, when can I go again? And I'm like, well, I definitely can't go today because these Costco's are just like fucking. I'm gonna be careful with my words. They're busy. They're not quite chaos yet,
Right.
but they will be. So the stores were busy. Parking's tough. Legacy's a disaster.
Yeah.
Avon was better than that. So I'm like, well, I can record the same way we recorded the other night. Is it ideal? No. But I think I can get this. I think I can get this desktop. So I worked this morning until 10, or I trained a kid until 10:45. I leave because I need to come back for His Majesty. And I stop at Avon on the way home. I go, all right, I'll just grab it. Easy in, no lines, or some lines. But again, they move there because I forget they don't bag. So like the
Yeah.
lines move.
Yeah.
Um, so I go to self checkout. I go, hey man, can I buy a computer here? He goes, yeah, sure, whatever. Like I don't give a fuck. Go to self checkout and pull up my debit card because Costco is Visa only in store.
Really?
Yes, I believe that they probably get a preferred rate,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
would
why it's
assume.
Visa only.
Yeah.
So tap my debit card, look on the screen, and it goes, your balance is 137. I go, that's only $500. Why did that not go? Well, when I say I never use my debit card, I mean I only use it at Costco.
Yeah.
So the most I've ever spent is like $100.
Yeah.
I think my debit card has a $500 limit because I never use the fucking thing.
Oh,
Because I have more than $500 in the account,
right.
and I have more than like even 525, or more than like even if they said, "Oh, you need to have 10% on top." I got more than 450.
Right. Right.
Nope. So a guy comes over, I go, "Dude," I go, "I think there's a limit on my debit card. I never use this fucking thing." He goes, "Yeah, yeah, you gotta pay 137." I go, "Yeah, see, that's the problem."
Yeah.
I go, "I can pay you whatever you want in a MasterCard,
Yeah.
and I've got like $47 in cash on me."
Yeah.
I go, "Do you want me to put this somewhere?" He goes, "No, no, no, I got it." I go, "All right, fine, I'll be back." So come back for His Majesty, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, I don't feel like calling citizens because it's no reason to call citizens. Like, you don't
Yeah.
need to unlock my debit card. I don't use it. So it's like I don't need to up that limit or anything. So I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm like, all right, so I need cash, right? Because that's the only way I'm paying for this thing
Right.
if I'm not calling. I'm like, fine. So thinking in my head, I go, well, where can I go? I can go back to Legacy to go back to Citizens in Costco. I go, no. I go, it's raining. I can't even take him across the street. Is he down here? Yeah, he is. I'm not going to say the magic word. I can't take him. He's going to be bored as hell. I go, let me just hang. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm just hanging, hour and a half, 2 hours. Not quite. Yeah, hour and a half. I'm like beside myself. I'm like, I could just go buy the fucking thing. I'm gonna drive by Avon again, but I
Yeah.
don't have the cash on me. So I'm
Right.
like, fucking A. So I'm like, all right, well, here's the plan. I can go to the Citizens in Easton, go to work, and if I get out early enough, I can shoot back to Avon. And I go, this is going to be funny too, because I was at that bank earlier at a teller for my business stuff. And
Yeah.
what words did I have to utter? Nope, nope, nothing personal today. Should be all good.
Yeah.
So I head back to work, go back to the same citizens, go to the same guy. And it's not like I'm like, it's not like they're going to remember me. Oh, wasn't he here earlier? No. Oh, isn't he here every week? Like
Yeah.
they know what I do. I'm like,
Right. Right.
I go, all Can I withdraw from my personal account? He goes, yep, no problem. I go, I swear to God, I'm not fucking coming back today. They go, yeah, Happy New Year. I go, yeah, it's fine. So I run it. I work. I run to Avon. I get the stupid computer. I get it set up. So here we are. We have
Nice.
it. We have a new computer.
Nice.
We have a desktop that can take the mic. It's got a webcam. But it took me 3 trips over 2 days to Costco to purchase a computer.
That's fantastic. How was it like difficult to set up or was it just basically plug and play?
Nope. Just basically the only things that were difficult was waiting for all the shit to like
Yeah, to like
boot up.
yeah, yeah,
And it's like, oh, sign into your Microsoft account. I'm like, fuck. I don't know what the fuck Microsoft account I have is.
yeah.
Get through that. And it's like, oh, do you want this? No. Do you want this? No. Skip, 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 skip.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want us to like track your location? Oh, it asked, oh, do you want find your device on? It's a desktop.
It's not going anywhere.
Am I gonna fucking misplace it?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it going? Understood if it gets stolen, but if it gets stolen, I figure it's fucking gone.
Yeah. Is it just a monitor or does it have a tower too?
No tower.
Okay.
It's
Because
an
I was
all.
gonna say that's what I thought that's what most computers are now because like I have an iMac from 2015, 2014 maybe. And I think back then it was like, oh my God, where's the tower? And
Yeah. My
like
mom so
now,
my mother has an all-in-one probably earlier than that, maybe like 2012, maybe 14. And it's got like a back to it. This thing's like I got I'm gonna use a very precise measurement. It's slightly big, it's slightly wider than this pen. Like it doesn't have a big profile to it.
yeah.
But the interesting thing is it came with wired mouse and keyboard, which I like I don't
Oh,
mind, like I don't care,
yeah.
but I just thought it's 2023. Why?
Yeah. I mean, keyboard, I probably wouldn't care. Like I wouldn't give a shit whether my keyboard was wired or wireless, but the mouse, I think I would prefer to be wireless.
So again, truthfully, it doesn't matter.
And you
To
can go
switch
on
them,
Amazon
it's
and buy
20
a,
bucks.
a $20 wireless mouse
Yeah, it's 20
and
bucks. So,
problem is solved.
well, no, you can get a combo, 20 bucks.
Yeah.
I bought them at work like fairly recently.
Yeah.
Although when I did go to buy the keyboard mouse combo, I went to Target in December, which is a fucking mistake. And no keyboard mouse combos at all. None,
Yeah, there is
period.
nothing in Target.
So even that, couldn't buy that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, I'm just continuously amazed at how I am just like incapable of carrying out very simple, very straightforward tasks.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
buying a computer that you saw. What the fuck?
I know this is the one that I want. How many trips to cut? It's like doing a project, like a home improvement
Yeah,
project.
so at
It's
least,
like
and I
how
was
many
saying that,
trips to Home Depot and Lowe's am I gonna have to take?
and I was saying that because at least when it's a project and I have to go to these places a million times, it's because I don't quite know what I'm doing. That's
Right.
why, like, so I buy X amount of lumber. Okay, it wasn't enough. Or you had the correct amount of lumber, but by the time you cut it, the math didn't add up.
Right.
Got it. I'm not a carpenter.
Yeah.
Like, I like, so that stuff, it's like, it's annoying, but at least it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. Or you get everything set up and you need like a special tool. Like you need a special blade for something or
Yeah. Or
for
it's
one of your
like you
saws
were
or whatever.
using your utility knives, but the blades are all dull. And it's
Right. Right.
like, that stuff, this is not that difficult. It's purchasing an item. Did That's
Yeah.
all I was doing.
Yep. It's pretty straightforward.
So dumb too.
But again, like the title of the last episode, this is why we can't have nice things. This
Apparently, this is why we can't have things
Just anything.
like any things. I almost had to go tomorrow when they opened, which would have been Legacy again.
Should have
And I
been
went.
4 trips in three
Well, no,
days.
I wouldn't have went. No, it still would have been three, but it would have been three over 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Because I wouldn't have gone to Avon on the way home. If I didn't,
Right, right, right,
it
right.
wouldn't have, it would have replaced the successful trip. But even when I went to Legacy on a Wednesday, I think I left at 10:04. Nope, I got there at 10:45. And I saw what was going on, and I took the first parking spot I saw, which was the furthest away from the entrance. And as I was walking, I go, that was actually a good call because I don't see shit right now.
Yeah.
Place had been open for 45 minutes
That's fucking wild.
on a Wednesday after Christmas. After
Yeah.
Christmas, and not quite like, yes, obviously you can do some buying for New Year's, but like,
Everyone's burning all that money that they got for Christmas, all the gift cards, all the cash, all that
you know what
stuff.
it is? It's a lot of returns too.
Well, it's a big
The
return week
the
also,
return line was out the door.
of course. So, well, that's fun. But you have a new computer.
Fucking stupid. Yes, I do have a new computer that appears to actually work. I just got to figure out my situation. Like, I feel like I'm too high. Now I feel too low because I felt like I was too high from the mic.
I mean, it sounds okay to me.
Well, the mic's the exact same, so the mic should be fine.
Yeah. But I mean, like distance wise, like you don't sound like you're far away from the
Oh,
mic.
okay. I don't know. It feels like I'm far away.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I definitely don't know what to do with my eyes because the webcam's like way up
Oh
here.
yeah. Yeah. I usually don't look in the to the camera.
No, I don't either, but like I can tell because I look at the screen that it looks like I'm looking down.
Oh, right, right. Yeah.
But I need the mic. So I would need the arm again
Yeah.
to raise the mic up in order to raise my seat up so that I'm looking straight ahead.
Right. I think
This
it'll
is
be
fucking good
okay.
enough. This is the best you people are getting.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing the arm in. I got too much shit in here anyway.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, while you're there.
You guys are like, ah, wow. I really wish Bob was sitting higher on the screen.
Ain't gonna happen. I'm like I'm mostly centered when I lean back,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty solid.
but I lean forward.
Yeah, I do that too. I
That's
notice I
that's what
lean,
I do.
I get a lot, I get hunched a lot. Like sometimes I notice myself getting like really close to the mic. I'm
But
like,
now
oh
I'm
shit,
even
I
further,
gotta
but
come a little
I'm far from the mic again, and I'm speaking over my windscreen. That doesn't work.
It defeats the purpose of
Yeah, it's not gonna
the
work.
windscreen.
I'll have so much wind in my fucking mic.
The it'll be who was it fuck was it the midday show with like Beetle and Zoe? Someone I think it was like it was recently because I was watching and I think it was when they were remote or like one person wasn't there and they just kept saying like who's breathing into the mic because they just kept like it's like what the fuck are you doing? I think it was probably Zoe, but who knows? That's the whole purpose of the filter and the screen. So um what else we got going on? Oh, actually, I I went to a gym today to work out for the
Ugh.
first time. Not the first time working out. I've actually been on a solid kick of working out. Um, but I worked out in a gym for the first time since I don't know, whenever the last time is that I worked out at Evolution. Um,
So in 2021.
yeah, probably. Um, and it was kind of nice.
Hmm.
It was different, right? Obviously, it was nice to have like a fuck ton of equipment. So shout out to Bill, friend of the show. He'll probably be listening to this episode. Um, we went to I think the place is called SOA Fitness. It's like the south of Washington, whatever the fuck. I don't know. But it's a brand new gym and it was really fucking cool. Like everything obviously is brand new, right? So it looks really nice. It's all state of the art stuff, but like it it wasn't that crowded and I think it's because it's so new. Like I don't think there's a ton of traffic in there yet. Um but it like I said it was just nice, right? And Bill and I talked about this when we were there that there's something different about working out with a partner that is just better than when you're by yourself. And then in my case in particular, then like by myself in my basement, right? So like obviously in my basement, I'm not only restricted for space, but I'm also restricted for equipment, right? Like I have a barbell and bumper plates and a squat rack, um, and a bench, right? Like I have kettlebells, I have dumbbells, I don't have like a full set of either, right? But I have enough to get by. Um, but like I just have a couple like bands, like, you know, in the with the little clippy handle things you can put on them too. So, you know, I make do, right? Like I'm not complaining about it. It's good enough for what I'm doing right now. Um, but it is kind of nice to be back in a gym, right? Where there's like big weights and machines and things to do, right? Like I can do I didn't today, but I can do lat pull downs and pull ups if I want to. I don't have to do banded lat pull downs because I don't own a lat pull down machine, right? And the ceiling's not high enough for me to do pull ups. So it's little things like that too, right? And like I said, like I just mentioned, um, there's something to having someone else there with you, right? And like I think it's like the expectation of knowing that you're going to be there, right? So like we were saying, you know, if back in the day when we were working out together all the time, it was like, oh yeah, I'll meet you at the gym at like 3, right? And there was no like, oh man, I kind of really don't want to go to the gym today. I'm lazy. I don't feel good. Whatever the bullshit excuse might be. It's no, I told Bill I was going to be there at 3, so I'm going to be there at 3. Like that's it's just I'm going, right? So like it kind of circumvents the bullshit, right? Of like not doing something that I need to do, right? And that I want to do at the end of the day, but it's like when you get in that moment, yeah, I mean, I know you go through this too. You're like, fuck, I don't want to work out. Like this is fucking stupid.
I never want to fucking work out.
Right,
Ever.
but you do it anyway. And it's hard to sometimes when the basement when your gym is in the basement, right, of your own house, and you're like, ah, it's fine. It's not going anywhere. I'll just fucking do something else. So I've been on this new kick where I would say for the last month, just about. Yeah, it was right around Thanksgiving is probably when I started like actually working out consistently. Um, I don't allow myself to go more than 2 consecutive days of not doing any kind of exercise. So Amy bought one of those like walking pad treadmills. I think it goes up to like 3.5 miles an hour, 4 miles. It's just it's you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's a it's a compact treadmill and there's no like top component to it. It's just like the thing that sits on the floor. So there's nothing to hold
Uh,
on to. It's just like the bottom part of the treadmill. And like I said, I think it only goes up. I haven't topped it out yet. I haven't redlined it to see how fast it goes. But I've gotten it up to 3.5 miles an hour. There's no need for me to
is that
go.
is that fast walking? I don't even know because
Yeah, that's a brisk walk,
I
right?
walk fast, but I don't know what my mile per hour is.
Usually it's like that 4 to 4.5 miles an hour range where it gets awkward, where you're like, should I be jogging? Should I be walking fast? Like, what do I do?
Gotta go
Um,
Olympic speed walking at that point.
yeah, yeah. So I usually keep it at like 3.5. So So we have that. I bought a rower on Amazon Prime Day back in whatever that was, October. Because it was on sale. I got it pretty cheap. I think I only ended up paying like 95 bucks for it. Um, so and it's a generic, it's like a off-brand, again, compact rower that's just in the basement. It's not like a Concept 2, or anything cool like that. But I don't need that, right? Like I just need a fucking rowing machine. Um, so I bought that. That's in the basement. The treadmill is up here. We keep it like because it just stands up, so it literally sits against the wall right here and takes up about
Yeah, you have a background
another
on. No one
precise
knows what you're
measurement.
talking about.
Another precise measurement, about this big. It's about that wide.
What is it? A treadmill for ants?
So he stand it up against the wall, and so between my quasi program, right, that I wrote myself something just to have, it's like if I do something on Monday, right, like maybe Tuesday I might be a little sore, I'm not feeling it, whatever. And maybe Wednesday I just get fucking lazy and don't feel like doing anything. Well, now Thursday I have to do something. Right. So like that's my whole shtick right now is like I don't allow myself to go more than 2 consecutive days without doing anything. So with my program, right, that I have, again, it's a 4-day program and it's pretty fucking basic. Like there's nothing crazy on it. Um, if I whatever reason, like if I'm being a bitch one day and I don't want to do that, I'll just be like, all right, let me walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes to an hour, or let me go hit the rower for 45 minutes. Um, so I'll do stuff like that just to like do something, right? So I'm not a huge piece of shit and like do nothing in a day. Um, so I mean, it's been working out relatively well, but it is uh it is really fucking nice to have a gym buddy, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
So because I'm in a unique situation and I'm not like other people, uh, I've actually found the complete opposite. And it's not in the sense of like a gym buddy type, because for me to find a gym buddy is hard because it's like I know what I'm doing and I don't like working out. So it's like
Yeah,
it's a weird combination. It's like I don't need this. I don't want that. Never mind like what I'm doing, or especially right now, it's there's nothing. Like I'm just doing like the low end of like a hypertrophy phase, like
right,
sixes.
right.
But that's only because I'm lazy and I'm not doing eights. Like, well, plus I can't do half this shit because I won't be able to walk the fucking next day.
Right, right.
But um, and again, I mean, they're not listening to this, but I do want to be clear. So it's like we had James and Pat move out in November,
Hmm.
and since they've moved out, I have found lifting in the gym by myself, alone, with or without music, sometimes no music,
Hmm.
sometimes no lights. It is fucking phenomenal. And it's like nothing against it's truthfully, it is nothing against them. It's
Yeah,
nothing against them. It's nothing against their personalities. It's nothing against their business, their people. It is just nice that when I want to just lift, there's nothing else going on. I don't have to hear anyone's stupid conversations. I don't have to be like, okay, well, I know they're going to be using the cable machine. Like,
right, right.
or it's like, yep, or whatever. I also get distracted too. Like, if I'm like lifting, it's like I get involved with God knows what. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I don't care. Like, I interrupt. It's a whole thing.
I mean, in that sense too, right? Because like that, it is where you work. It's where you spend a
That's
majority of your day. Like being like this, the solitary thing makes way more sense
yes. I was
for
gonna say
you.
because that doesn't even involve the fact that when I'm working out, I'm at work.
Right.
I'm got email. I got people potentially coming in. Like it's
Right.
nonsense.
Right.
But when they moved out, I was like, no, dude, I'm coming to lift at your place because like fuck that.
Yeah.
Like I hate lifting here. But since they moved out, now it's like there are times of the day where there's nothing going on. I'm like, this is awesome. This is great.
Right. Right.
Plus, I was gonna go and kind of like just be a massive distraction to them, and it's like kind of scummy, or not super scummy. But
Yeah.
they also don't have a ton of equipment. So if they've got like a group of six, I can't go in and take a squat rack. It's like,
Right. Right. Yeah.
dude, there are paying customers here.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, I mean, shout out to SOA Fitness in Boston. It's in the South End, but it's actually super cool. Like just the facility in and of itself, it's one of those like new gyms where it's not just a gym, right? They have a room. It's like they have a recovery room that's a couple recliners and like all the Normatec stuff. And then they have another room which Bill and I actually used today. You just have to pay like a rental fee for it. Um, is the hot cold room. So Bill did his first ever cold plunge. I had no idea that he'd never done a cold plunge before. I had just assumed that he did. So we get into the room and like it's a good size room. Like there's a cold plunge, there's a shower and a sink to like, obviously rinse off and whatever and do whatever you got to do. And then there's a sauna. There's a two-person infrared sauna in there. So, the woman puts us in there. We get it's a 40-minute booking session, but like no one checks on you at 40 minutes. Like it's a brand new
unless someone
gym.
needs to get in, I
Right, unless
guess.
someone else needs to get in. And it's so new that there's not enough people to like warrant the it's been 40 minutes and 30 seconds. Like you got to get the fuck out of there. It's like, all right, whatever. Um, so we go in and we get set up. The woman points everything out and she goes, all right, cool. Like you guys got time, just enjoy. So we turn the sauna on and we turn it up basically as high as it'll go. It's an infrared sauna, so it's a little bit lower temperature wise, but it still gets really hot. You feel hot, right? Because of the infrared rays and whatever. We don't need to get into the science of it. But we're looking around and it's one of those like it's a legitimate cold plunge that cycles the water and like flows the water through. And we're like, there's got to be a temperature gauge somewhere. Like, where the fuck is it? Like, we both stick our hands in. I'm like, yeah, man, it's pretty cold. I mean, I do cold plunges probably every other day, roughly at this point, right? And the other day it was really fucking cold. It was 30 degrees. The water was 30 degrees. I had to crack the ice on the top of my thing before I got in.
You gotta put the
Um,
we used to have it for the pool, like the big fucking whale thing.
yeah. um, so so we're like, there's got to be something somewhere. And we're looking all around. We're looking behind the tank. We can't find it. And then finally, I look up and above the sauna, so it's out of reach, there's a box that has a thermostat on it and it says 32 degrees,
Fuck, that's
32.0
cold.
degrees. And I go, oh, dude, it's 32 degrees. And he's like, oh, fuck.
That's fucking cold, dude. I want to say the one I did was like 40.
That's so he said it, like when I asked him before we got in there, I was like, "Oh, do you know how cold they keep it or whatever?" And he was like, "Probably like 40, like if I had to guess." And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I thought
Like
it was like 40 or 42.
you want to make it so it's like accessible to people, right? Like an average Joe coming in off the street, like you don't want to put them in 30-degree water, right? So we both kind of just assumed it was going to be 40. So we get in and I saw that the thermostat and I was like, dude, it is 32.0 degrees Fahrenheit. And he just goes, oh, fuck. So we decide to go in the sauna first. So we do 10 minutes in the sauna and then I go in first into the cold plunge. And I mean, it's cold, but like I do them all the time, right? And the one thing I think that I thought I found interesting and kind of cool was doing the sauna first. made it not feel as cold. Like, so when I do the cold plunge just outside in my yard, I do 3 minutes in the tub, right? And like whether it's 30 degrees and I have to crack the ice on the top, or if it's, 38 degrees or whatever it is, I shoot for 3 minutes. And at the end of 3 minutes, when I was in there, I was like, oh, that was only 3 minutes. Like I felt like I could have done more. So I get out and then I look up at the thermostat and it was like 34.5 degrees or something. I was like, oh, Bill, I warmed it up for you.
Yeah.
So he gets in for the first time ever. And it was pretty fucking cold. It was one of those, like, I asked him, like, how you feeling? And he was like,
Not breathing.
just like focusing on his breathing. And I was like, all right, I'll leave you to it. So then we did another sauna for 10 minutes and then we finished back in the cold tub again. But the second time in the tub, I was literally like, I felt like I could have stayed in there for 20 minutes. Like it wasn't like it didn't feel cold to me because we had spent the time in the sauna. And the sauna also got hotter the second time. Like the first time we were in there, I think it was like 110. And by the second time we did it, it had actually heated up to like 130. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's a cool spot. And they also have one of the things that we looked at and Bill mentioned, he was like, we should actually take advantage of this, is they have two golf simulators, like full on TrackMan systems just sitting there in the gym. And I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking nuts. So like this one, and then they have your traditional, right? Like they have the spin room and they have the boxing room and with all the heavy bags in this, like all the normal shit that you'll find in like a gym today, they have it. Um, but they also have like the two recovery rooms, and then the two golf simulators that I thought was like pretty fucking wild.
Don't ready to park at this place.
Yeah, yeah, actually, right around the corner, Bill gets comped parking because he's an employee. So if you go with Bill, you don't have to pay for parking. But it was funny
Well, I
because
was
we
to
were,
say, I know, obviously, I know I have to go with Bill anyway
yeah,
because there's some type of monthly fee that I'm just not gonna, they're not gonna
right,
like just not charge it to me.
yeah, yeah. Um, So the funny thing was we were joking like, oh, we should tell Dats, and then we'll be like, hey, we're gonna go lift at 11, so meet us at like 12:15, so we can swing because we're like we know he's not gonna fucking
I ain't
want
coming
to
to
lift
lift.
with us.
I ain't coming to lift. No fucking way.
But yeah, I mean, I've told him like I would like to maybe try and figure out like once a month to like find whatever Saturday is open or mostly open for either of us, and just go and actually do like a real workout, um and then whatever, like whether we hit the cold plunge again in the sauna or the simulator, whatever we end up doing. It's one of those where it's like, fuck man, like if I lived in the city and I lived near this place, like I would be there every single day, whether it was for just the amenities, whether it was like the simulator or the recovery room or to actually work out. Like I would be there every single day.
I hate working out.
And I hate the city.
I hate getting there.
Yeah.
I don't even live far and I can't fucking get there.
Yeah. It's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but it's a cool spot. Like I said, it's still so new that there's like no one there, which is nice. But also where it is too, I feel like even when it's not brand new, like there's still not, like I can't imagine that's the type of place that's going to be like packed all the time. It's not like
What's this thing actually called? Because I guess SOA is like a bigger thing, like
um
festivals and space and a market. What is it? A gym?
yeah, so health and fitness maybe.
Yep, there it is. How far away is this? Oh, 11 miles. Yeah, that's about an hour for me. Not right now, actually. Oh, yeah, it's the week in between. That's why.
Yeah. So they, like I said, they quite literally have everything. So if anybody that listens to this lives in the Boston area or just in Boston, um, I don't know, I'll fucking plug them. Go to SOA Health and Fitness in in the South End. Oh yeah, they have the picture up of the recovery room. I don't know if you saw it, but it's got the cold plunge and the sauna in the room. I don't know if this is going to work on YouTube. No, it's not.
Nope.
But solid stuff.
Yeah, like it's like even with it, like this is why like I suck because it's like I did the cold plunge once and like people like lose their minds over it and it's like
Yeah, it's
I'm like I
certainly
don't I have so since I did the cold plunge I was actually very convinced that I wasn't doing it. I have not like thought be like you know what that would be fun to do again.
yeah.
I've only looked at it like wow that fuck what a pain in the ass that was and how bad my shins hurt. I remember that. Sauna I'd be in for, but like I can get a sauna anywhere. Or not
So
anywhere, but
they have two like in the recovery room, they have the infrared next to the cold plunge, and then in the men's room or the locker room, really, they have a traditional sauna.
yeah. And then it's like even like the recovery room stuff, like Normatex and all that, it's like, yeah, that stuff's good. But unfortunately I have one.
Right, right.
Uh stimulator, no problem.
Yep.
I fucking hate swinging indoors. Like
Too many
I suck.
walls.
Like, dude, I suck. I can't even buy a computer. Like, how am I supposed to enjoy shit that people like?
Yeah.
Also, you know what? So this is a pet peeve. I also fucking hate this. The people that are like, well, I like the cold punch because it shows me that I can do hard things. And I'm like, I could fucking care less if I have to do hard things or not. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could give a flying fuck less. That is the least appealing thing. Oh, I just want to show myself that I can do hard things.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, man, all the power to you, but like, what? Like, it's such a weird thing. I don't know. It's such a weird. It's like for me, that's like a really weird thing right now.
Yeah,
Because then it's like
there's
also
this.
it's like your definition of hard. It's like it's kind of hard to play to a two handicap. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's like in vogue right now, really, is the
yeah.
cold plunge thing. And it's like, oh, it's cool, it's whatever. And it's like
Well, the cold plunge I'm fine with. The hard thing. It's the
yeah,
phrase
it's
hard things.
the hard things too, right? That comes from
Well, Steve Magnus wrote a book about it, and
well, everyone talks about it. Like
yeah,
that's the whole thought, the theory behind discipline equals freedom, right? The Jocko Willink built an entire business on discipline equals freedom, right? Like you do the hard things because they're hard, and then you get freedom after, right? Like you get to do the things you want to do after you do the thing that needs to get done first, right? Like that's
well,
I don't
with
know.
that, I'm in
Right.
because like for example like some of like in this is how I'm going to use it to like my situation because people like hard things in real life is like war labor like
Yeah.
actual hard things going in
Yeah.
cold water is not a hard thing
No.
in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Now I'm the one who's like fucking not for me, fuck that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, actually, you know what? Hard things is making a purchase because apparently we can't fucking figure that out either.
Yeah.
But like I'm with you to an extent on some of that stuff, but like for some people, like cooking's hard. So the
Yeah.
freedom, I get it. So it's like if you do the hard things, aka learn to cook, the freedom is now you can cook whatever you want, however you
Right.
want.
Right.
It's like, okay, yeah. It's like golf is hard. So it's like grind on your swing and work to hit your driver better and all that, and then you get to play golf, hopefully with more enjoyment and more fun. Hence the freedom. Yeah,
it's
it's
a
fine.
little bit of it's kind of like in a way similar to like the oppression Olympics that we went through back from like 2016 to like 2018. Remember, it was like, well, I'm a woman and I'm oppressed. And it's like, well, I'm a black woman and I'm more oppressed. And it's like, well, I'm a half black, half Native American woman, a transgender woman, even, you know what I mean? Like it's the whole like, I'm I need to show people that like I've overcome some sort of adversity, right? Like as if just being a race inherently makes you like you've overcome something. Like listen, don't get me wrong, right? Like yes, in many areas across not even only the country but throughout the world, the color of your skin does set you up to deal with some adversity, right? I understand that. But like just because you're black or just because you're some shade of brown or white, whatever it might be, um, doesn't mean that you're already dealt with adversity, right? Like it's because there's plenty of rich black people that have never dealt with adversity, right? And they would not like that. They'd be like, well, there is because there's this. And it's like, okay, but you haven't faced the same kind of adversity as someone in the south side of Chicago, right? Like there's it's that's what it is. It's the I need to do hard things to show people that like I'm not a pussy, right? And it's like you don't need to sit in a cold tub for 3 minutes to show me that you're not a pussy.
I
Like,
also don't care.
yeah, I also don't give a shit,
I'm
right?
and
Like,
I'm a fucking bitch. Whatever.
yeah, yeah. It's like I don't know. It's that type of thing. But like that's kind of where like the fitness culture I think has shifted a little bit where it's like, oh, what have you done today? Like what's hard? Like get
You know
hard,
what's amazing?
motherfucker. Like
You know
David
what's amazing?
Goggins, right? David Goggins
He's a
is a
clown.
big stay hard, motherfucker.
I love telling people that he's a fucking clown.
Yeah, I
Because I
mean,
don't know much about him either. I just people like, oh my god, like David Goggins did this. I'm like, David Goggins is a clown. They're like, what?
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, clown.
Like I that's kind of how he is a clown, right? Like I look
Perfect.
at
So
it
I'm
like
right.
if he helps people like get off the couch and start working out and like motivates them, awesome. But like you can't sit there and objectively say that like the shit that he says and the shit that he does isn't a fucking like clown. It's clownship,
Sounds like a
right?
clown.
Like oh I fucking ripped a hole in the bottom of my shoe. I didn't stop. Stay hard, motherfucker. I ran till all the skin came off the bottom of my foot. It's like, okay,
That's
dude, like
idiotic.
that's just dumb. Just like go
You're
buy
just
a
an
new
idiot.
pair of shoes. Like that's dumb. Like you don't need to do that, right? But like I said, if his whole shtick motivates someone to like again not be a fat piece of shit, then awesome, right? Like he's kind of done something good. But that doesn't also mean that he's not a clown. Like those two things
Yeah, I
aren't
also didn't
mutually
say.
exclusive. Like
I
he
also
can
didn't
be
say he was.
good
Yeah,
but also be a clown.
I didn't say he was an idiot. I didn't say he wasn't helpful. I said he's a clown.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was running a half marathon and got a rock in my shoe. I didn't have time to stop and take that rock out. I
It's
kept
fucking
running.
stupid.
It's
That's
like,
fucking stupid.
all right, dude.
The
Like,
half
just,
marathon.
yeah,
You have plenty of time to stop.
yeah, just stop and fucking take the rock out of your shoe, dude. Like, yeah, it's dumb shit like that, right? I used to be fat. Now I'm not. Okay, that's
Awesome.
awesome.
Congrats.
I honestly hope that you do inspire a lot of people to
Credit
not
to
be fat
yourself.
anymore. But like, I don't know, maybe ease up on the fucking, but I guess he can't, right? Because
Because then he's not him.
yeah, because then he's not him.
He'll be just a reasonable person.
Yeah. It's just
No
one
one
of those where
no
like
one likes reasonable.
that's the that's the typical response, right? With someone like him because he is beloved and honestly I mean, I don't know the guy. he seems like a decent guy, right? Like I'm sure he probably, what do you say? He probably pays all his bills and pays his taxes on time, right? Like he's probably a good guy, but like he's one that if you stop and say, "Oh, he's a clown," people are like, "Oh my God, you can't say that. He's awesome." It's like, okay, he can be
No,
awesome,
dude,
but he can also be a clown.
he's a clown.
Yeah. Because it's like if you isolated the situation, right? Like if one of the kids at the gym was get tried to like argue, or anybody really, it doesn't need to be a kid at the gym, but if anybody tried to argue that, and all you have to do is be like, okay, let's remove the name David Goggins from this scenario. If I term like make it me, like if I were running in a marathon and got a rock stuck in my shoe and decided to just continue running with the rock on the bottom, ripping the bottom of my foot apart, what would you say to me?
You're an idiot.
Probably call me a fucking idiot, right? Like, okay, now he did that. Well,
Still,
he's the man.
still
Like
an idiot.
it's like that doesn't match. Like those things don't match up. Like you're an idiot. It's just dumb, but it's okay. It's okay. Like it's fine. That's his thing. But yeah, it's like one of those people don't like it when you question, not necessarily even their heroes, but like people don't like it when you question like someone that's like revered as great, right? Like I got that a little bit, oddly enough. Shout out to Tony, friend of the show. He was on a long time ago.
Yep.
Um, but back in the day, I was like a huge fanboy of Jordan Peterson. I still like Jordan Peterson, but I think he's taken his career in different pathways that I'm like, okay, you can do that, but like I still like your original stuff. Like I like your first book that you wrote. Like the stuff you're doing now is a little much for me, but like I can separate that. But back then when his first book came out, like the 12 rules for, so I think technically it was his second book because Maps of Meaning was his first book and that thing was fucking ridiculously long. I think it was like a fucking dictionary. Um the 12 rules for something. I forget the title of it. But when he was at his height of that, I was a huge fanboy. And Tony was the one that was like, yeah, but like he's kind of a tool bag. And I was like, well, dude, come on. Like, what do you mean? Like, don't do that. Like, he's great. And he was like, yeah, but like he does this one thing that's like kind of stupid. And like this other thing that he believes like doesn't really make a lot of sense. And it was the first time where I was like, no, 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 that's dumb. No, you're a hater. And then like obviously later on, and now I'm like, no, I was being a fucking fanboy. Like I was that guy that was like, oh, don't question the guy that I revere. Like that, he's infallible, but he's not, right? Like it's now that I'm a little bit older, it's like even the people that you really like can do stupid shit. Like I really like Joe Rogan, but I don't like worship the ground that he walks on. Like he says a lot of really dumb shit. Like especially when it comes to like the human body. Like he's kind of dumb, but he's awesome. Like the stuff that he does, the guests that he has on, the topics that they cover are fantastic. But like I would never be like, "Oh no, he can do no wrong." Like no, he's a dumbass. Like he's just like us, right? Like he just has the world's biggest podcast.
Remember, only like 2.5% of people are actually smart. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Which is a random side note, just because I know you listened to the first time he was on, that guy Brigham Bueller, I think the guy that
yeah,
runs Ways to Well, he was just on Rogan again this week.
what did he talk about?
Same kind of stuff, like well, he got a little bit more into like his company this time and
I
what
don't
Ways
care.
to Well does, but he also talked about like the insurance scams and how like pharmaceutical companies are basically ruining healthcare and why more and more people are And by people, I mean like doctors and pharmacists, and he even talked about PTs, like DPTs.
Yep.
Um, he said why more and more people are leaving the insurance model and like going to a cash pay system. Um, and he's actually working on broadening that system and that idea for people to like, because his goal is to make the cash pay model available to like the average Joe, which realistically right now it's not, right? Like if you have to go to someone who is a DPT and they charge you $160 a session and they do not take insurance, there's a lot of people that cannot afford $160 twice a week for X amount of weeks, right? Like
Right.
that's a lot of fucking money. So he's trying to work on coming up with ways to make it more affordable for people because he sees that
Good luck.
the average person is getting fucked by traditional healthcare, right? The traditional healthcare systems and insurance
Yeah.
companies.
Uh, best of luck to him. I hope he does, because fuck
Yeah.
the insurance model.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's trying to use AI to help like bring the costs down for some things,
Yeah.
right? So
Like I,
like
well, like I said, like best of luck to him, but an hour of someone's time is an hour of someone's time. So
right.
that's kind of my
Right.
only thing.
Yeah.
Which is that's the hard part.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, also if it forces the insurance companies to change, then yes, I'm all in.
Yeah, that would
'Cause
be
they
nice.
fucking suck.
Yeah. Insurance companies are the worst. I got a bill. I went to the dentist like 2, 3 weeks ago, maybe now.
Oh, don't tell me they hit you with the panoramic X-rays, did they?
Yeah.
Ah, 250, quick, right?
Yeah. I got a bill for $78.
Oh,
And
I got hit with way worse.
it's like, why do I have dental insurance? Like, why do I pay dental insurance if you're just going to bill me
So that's
afterwards?
so what I did, because so the reason so I was going to a dentist in Medford, like the one I grew up on. Then it got sold, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do these panoramic X-rays." Those panoramic X-rays were like $200
Yeah.
cash. And I called them. I go, "What the?" I go, "What did I just get billed for?" And they go, "Oh, that was the panoramic X-ray." I go, "Insurance didn't cover that?" They go, "Yep." I go, "You can take me off your schedule. I'm never coming back here again."
Yeah.
She's like, "What?" I go, "I'm gonna pay this stupid bill." I go, "But frankly, you fucked me out of 250. I forget how much it cost. It was
Yeah.
something like that though."
Yeah.
And they go, "Okay, well, we'll let the dentist know that you won't be coming back." I go, "Yep."
Yeah.
And then when I called up the new one, I go, I don't know if you need to make a note in my file, or I don't know how you want to do this. I go, "I only want the services covered by insurance." I go, "I don't want any damn panoramic x-rays. I don't want anything
Yeah.
else."
Yeah.
I go, "My answer's no." And I left my last dentist because they fucked me on that one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't paid since.
Yeah. So I have the bill right here. I had it right next to me. So it gives me the breakdown, like by line item. So I got the four radiographic images. So that's the
That's the
X-rays.
normal. That's the normal stuff.
So that cost $129. My insurance paid for 100 of it. Okay, whatever. It's X-rays. I get it. Sometimes
Uh,
X-rays, whatever. So then the next line item is prophylaxis, which I'm assuming is teeth cleaning. So teeth cleaning cost $176. My insurance covered $146. And then the last line item is periodic oral evaluation. I'm assuming that is when the dentist walks over for 15 seconds, touches your mouth a couple times, goes, "Yep, class one, here, there, class one, yep, okay, good. Everything looks awesome. No cavity. I'll see you in 6 months." That 15-second thing. cost $94 and my insurance covered 75 of it. So if you do some quick math, they didn't cover 29, 30, and $19, which comes out to $78 total, which
You
is
need to
what I
figure
owe.
out you need to figure out what the fuck went wrong there. Because they should cover all of that.
You would think.
So you either yeah, I would maybe start with your dentist. Be like, hey, I'll pay this, but like what happened?
Yeah. Like, why do I pay for dental insurance if
Well,
you
so
aren't going to cover a teeth cleaning? And again, I understand the X-ray thing. I get the whole whatever it is with X-rays for
that
whatever
ain't
reason.
that ain't the panoramic X-ray. That's the regular one. That's supposed to be covered.
Yeah. So who
Well,
knows?
who do you have dental with?
United. That's who I have. Everything is through United. My
All
health
right.
and dental.
You might have got fucked on that one.
United fucking sucks. Just the insurance that my company holds, um, just isn't awesome. It's cheap. Like it's not that it's cheap in general, but my company pays 90% of my premium. Um, so I don't pay a lot of money for it. So I don't know if the actual plan itself is cheap. Um, but it sucks because
Yeah, it does.
it doesn't cover anything. Like, how do you not cover a prophylaxis teeth cleaning and the oral eval by the dentist? So, like, if I didn't get the X-rays, it would have cost me 40. I would have got a bill for $49.
Yeah, but you should get X-rays once a year and
Right.
two cleanings a year. So
Right.
honestly, I might just start with the dentist. Like, what's going on here? Like, does my insurance suck or what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably where I'm going to start. But it's just, it's dumb. Insurance is stupid. The whole insurance model is fucking dumb. So, whatever. Um, all right. You want to wrap things up?
We can wrap things up.
All right. What do you
In
got?
the tour of me making pasta, I was gifted some ravioli making materials, and I made ravioli on Tuesday, maybe Tuesday. I'm giving myself an 8 out of 10. The taste was there, uh, but my filling on one of the batches left something to be desired.
What was the
Mostly because
filling?
it was loot, just like ricotta and pecorino.
Okay.
So I took ricotta and egg and some pecorino. I filled the first like sheet and made my ravioli. And then I'm like looking at it and I'm like, all right, well, I got another sheet left, but I don't have that much ricotta. I go, if I put another egg in here, I go, it's gonna be way too loose.
Yeah.
So I just didn't.
Yeah.
And just the ricotta and the pecorino. And the second batch actually held its shape, didn't really yeah, it just didn't seem so soft. So like the second batch of them came out like a lot better. Once it was cooked though, it still felt like loose. So I don't know. I got to figure out the
Yeah.
filling. Also, I'm aware that I am lactose intolerant. I am aware that ricotta is milk. We're okay, but like it wasn't awesome. Like my
Yeah.
stomach was rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
Now it was the only dairy that I really ate, so it's fine. So I also might just be out on like a cheese filling. I might just strictly go for other things or cut it out like use some ricotta but like meat filling, whatever I
Yeah. Go
deem
more the
appropriate.
meat filling route.
Yeah, whatever I deem appropriate here.
Yeah.
Um and then other than that, it's like, a couple of them were probably like a little too big. So it's like might have been in the first batch because once I forget at this point, but like some of it was like leaking out the side a couple times. So just got to tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I can just, continue practicing.
You just keep making
I
pasta.
guess I guess I can be bothered.
Are you gonna make pasta with your porchetta?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know who the fuck's gonna eat all this porchetta anyway.
I mean, if you need someone to eat some porchetta, I'm not doing anything on
Yeah,
Saturday.
I'll let you know what's going on. But yeah, I'm like, it's so much fucking food.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, 8 pounds of pork belly is a lot. Like even
Yeah,
if you
so
even if you trim
yeah,
it,
I am gonna trim it. So like
like
there's normal trimming and then I'm gonna cut out like some of it.
right.
I'm gonna almost like try to evaluate what's the minimum I need. Actually, I could just do this. Take the whole fucker, roll it, see what's the minimum I need
Yeah,
to roll it, cut, and then trim some off the end.
yeah,
And then that way I don't have to worry about like will it roll? Will it
right.
blend?
Will it roll?
Um, so I think that's gonna be like my strategy. And then whatever doesn't roll, I'll either freeze it or I'll make burn ends. I don't know. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's a lot of fucking food.
That's a lot. It's eight, like an 8 pound slab of meat is pretty fucking big.
And it's all pork belly.
It's so delicious.
Yeah, because I don't know if the one that you got from whatever butcher shop that day, I don't think that was 8. That was probably like 5.
Yeah, that was the one. Did I get that one in Worcester when I was
I
working out
forget.
there?
I forget, but
Yeah.
that
I
was
think I
probably
got it
like
from like the barn, I think it's the red barn or the meat barn, whatever the hell it was called,
I
out in
bet you
Worcester.
probably got it. It was probably about 5, and I think that would have rolled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah. I mean, oh no, there's there's pork belly.
No, truthfully, I just don't want it to go to waste. Like that's my
Right,
own
right,
that's my only actual concern is I just don't want to waste it.
right, right.
Like
So
a little bit here and there, fine. Like yes, there are trimming that needs to happen, but like I'm not throwing away half of it for no reason.
yeah, especially because it ain't cheap.
It's $3.99 a pound. I didn't think
That is
I
actually kind
didn't
of
find
cheap.
that to be
Yeah,
I didn't find that to be expensive at all.
no.
But yes, I don't want to turn it into $8 a pound because I threw out half.
Right, right. So, all right. Um, so my final thought is also food based. So what do you call those Italian cookies that are like white cakey and have the like frosting on the top with the sprinkles?
So this is actually funny because this came up and I also just went into the sheet, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the reason this came up is one of my clients, his mother's Italian, like
Yep.
not from there, but he goes, "Oh, do we usually bring you the biscotti?" And I'm like, "I don't think you've ever brought me biscotti." He goes, "Oh, my mother makes it every year." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't think like you've ever given me a biscotti." Like,
Right.
I'm like, we're talking like, like the one that usually goes in coffee, whatever. He goes, "Oh, you can eat them with whatever." I'm like, can we like sort of figure this out? We didn't figure it out on the first time. Then the second time he came in, he goes, "Yeah, which ones is it?" It's actually the kid you know. But um he's like, "Yeah, she usually makes the biscotti." I go, "I'm pulling up fucking Google images." I go, "Does it look like this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No." And I'm like, "I didn't think so because I don't think I've ever gotten this from anyone, let alone you."
Yeah. A
And I'm like, frankly,
biscotti is like a long, like hard, it's like hard, crusty
right.
dessert.
So he was saying biscotti, which is what his mother says, because what is cookie in Italian?
Biscotti.
Biscotti.
Right.
So he was describing a circular, cakey type
Right.
cookie
Right.
with frosting on top.
Right.
Now, I would call those an anisette cookie,
Yes. That's what I call them.
but they don't have to have anise in them. So I don't actually know what the correct name would be because they can be made with like vanilla or lemon.
Right.
And if there's no anise, how is it an anisette cookie?
Correct. So there's
There
more
are,
to it.
well,
There's
I was
more
going to say,
to
but
it.
the other problem with calling it an anisette cookie is there are other cookies that have anise in them
Right. Right.
and they're different entirely.
Yeah. So I've always called them anisette cookies. My grandmother used to make them like hand by hand
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Um,
I guess
they've
to put a button on that, the ones that I was gifted are like what you're thinking, but they were
yeah,
vanilla. They were not anise.
right, right. So I love them. Like again, I grew up eating them. Like I said, my grandmother used to make them from scratch, like everything else that she did. Um, they're awesome. Again, love them. But like you said, they come in other flavors too. You can get them in either vanilla or lemon. They don't need to be anise. And anyone that's out there is like, oh, anise, what flavor is that? It's almost like a licoricey
Yeah, it is.
taste. So my mom brought them down for Christmas. She brought like a tray of them. She just got them at like Market Basket. And on the tray, it said like Vienna dessert cookie. And I was like, what
Yeah, no,
the
like Austria.
fuck? That's what I said. I go, what the fuck is this? So then we get into this whole thing. And I go, this is ridiculous. This is what happens when I'm not around people that are Italian. And here I go with the Fabrizio, like here's my old Italian guy yelling at a fucking menu or something is similar to the old man yelling at a cloud. It's like so Amy goes, "Oh, I fucking hate those cookies. They suck." I go, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Yeah, no, they're awful. They're gross." I go, "What the fuck? Like, what is wrong with you?" And then come to find out her mom is like, "Yeah, I don't like I won't eat those. Like you take them back." Because my mom brought them for the party for Christmas Eve. Um and so her mom was like, "Yeah, no, you take these back. Like I won't eat them. I don't like them." I go, what the fuck? Like why how does no one like these?
Yeah, what am
And
I
then
missing here?
so then while I was out today at the gym with Bill, Nick stopped by the house and he saw the cookies that were on the counter and he said something to Amy. He was like, "Oh, what the fuck are these doing here? Throw them in the trash. They suck," or something like that. And I was like, and Amy told me when I got home, and I go, "This is just a you people problem. Like, your family doesn't fucking understand the anisette cookie and like how good they are. Like there, it's just I don't know what it is. It's just an Italian thing, or if it's a me thing. But like, do you like them? Do you enjoy them?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. I've never heard, I never once heard anybody say, "Oh no, those suck." Not once, never, not once in my entire almost 32 years of existence have I heard people say that they despise anisette cookies as much as Amy and her family have said over the last like 4 days.
So what's their predominant heritage so I can just absolutely attack that ethnic group or
Yeah,
whatever?
Irish, fucking who knows?
Irish.
Whatever doesn't know good food.
Would we like it more if it was made out of potatoes?
Yeah, French, I guess. Chagnon
Yeah,
is
that makes sense.
French.
That I was gonna say that's probably what the last name is.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause I was gonna say I think the Germans make anisette cookies. The Lebanese make anisette cookies.
yeah, because they're
I don't
amazing.
I don't know if the French do.
No, the French don't know how to make anything but stinky cheese.
I don't know if that's fair, but fuck them.
Fuck the French.
I don't think that's remotely fair, but
I mean,
and
French cuisine is what actually
I
French
won't
cuisine is
it's
very
fucking
well known.
highly regarded,
Yeah,
as is
yeah,
their wine,
yeah. Le Cordon Bleu.
and as is their pastry. Like
Yeah, yeah.
if
No,
we're
no, no, no.
talking
They're only good at stinky cheese.
if we're talking cuisines of the world, Italy and France aren't that different.
Yeah, yeah.
Categorically, they're actually identical,
Well,
but
yes.
the specifics of what they do are much more regional.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what is so here's a question though. If it's not anisette, or if there's no anise in the cookie, what is it?
yeah. Is it a Vienna dessert cookie, like Market Basket says?
Italian lemon
I've
cookie.
had them. So I've had them all three ways, right? Like I've had them the traditional anisette where there's like a little bit of licorice flavor there. Um, and I've also had the lemon and the vanilla. They're all good. Like I enjoy all of them.
Yeah, so does Team Shagnon just not like anise or licorice? Because I'll give you that. If that's why they don't like them, then unfortunately, like my opinions aside, that's kind of a polarizing flavor.
Yeah.
Because like if you're out on anise or the licoricey feel,
I mean, that's where licorice, like the licorice candy flavor comes from
yeah. But so
anise.
like again, I'm also like so work with me here. Like someone can make a bad batch of those cookies, right?
Right.
If you make a bad batch of those cookies, they fucking suck
Right.
because it's gonna only taste like black licorice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe in their childhood they had a bad batch. I don't know. Because if they all, it's like the fucking O'Doyle here. Like they all hate they hate the fuck out of these cookies. Like they
Yeah.
all do. Um. So I don't. Again, I'd be so fucking fascinated to know like when and how these cookies hurt them.
Yeah,
But
they had a real bad experience in 1997.
I mean, I guess. Dude, don't get me wrong. Like, if someone like fucked up the batch and like
Yeah.
made it way too overpowering, yeah, I would never eat them again either.
That's why most people hate oatmeal raisin cookies because there's been most time, right, where you're like, "Oh, awesome, a chocolate chip cookie," and you take a bite and it's oatmeal
Yeah,
raisin, you're like, "I fucking hate these cookies."
oatmeal raisin cookies, underrated.
Well, that's what
They're
I mean.
good ones.
I don't think that they're that
Well,
bad,
I
but
I
if you
also think,
go multiple, if you have like 5 or 6 times in your life where you thought you were going to eat a chocolate chip cookie and it turns out to be oatmeal raisin, you end up hating oatmeal raisin
yeah,
cookies, despite them actually being a good cookie.
I might have to get some actual anisette ones because I had the vanilla ones. I don't know. I mean, I've always liked them, and I thought when done correctly, yes, you can tell that there's anise, but
It shouldn't be overpowering,
it shouldn't overtake the whole thing.
right? I think it depends on how it's made too, because I feel like there's a difference of whether you put the anise in the cookie or you put it in the frosting.
And I think it should be in the cookie. If I, now
Yes.
I'm no full disclosure, like I know I talk about a lot of food. I'm no baker. I think we went over this.
Yeah.
I'm no baker, so I don't know. I'm just like thinking from like a flavor perspective. If it's in the frosting, it's gonna be super fucking strong.
Yes,
And if
exactly.
it's in both, then
Well,
that's
if
way
it's
too
in both,
much.
yeah, that's you're probably gonna hate anisette cookies.
Yeah, and then you serve them to the
Yeah.
Shagnons in 2001.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's I personally I think it's supposed to be in the cookie
Yes, and
because
then
it's
that
a
would
lot
cover it
more
up a little bit
muted.
too.
It's more muted in the
Yeah.
cookie than it would be if it was in the frosting.
Yeah. Been a long time since I've had anise once because that kid's mother makes some vanilla.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had
So that
homemade
being said,
ones.
were those ones good?
Yeah, they were fine.
Yeah.
Like it,
Yeah, I would think you probably need to go to you need to fucking find a paisan.
Yeah.
to make them right.
You know what cookies do actually suck though that are Italian is the flavorless fucking multicolored like pinwheel um sprinkle ones. They come in like red, green,
Oh, those are
and
all Italian cookies, yeah.
it's like there's nothing to them, right? Like that's like give me the anisette cookie. Give me the cookie with the frosting on it.
I never minded the one with like the dried fruit in the middle. Usually it was
No,
like a
this doesn't
cherry.
have anything in it. It's just a plain dry
So
cookie.
it's a variety. Because usually like those are Italian like when you walk into a bake like if you walked into an Italian bakery and was like, "Can
Yeah,
I get a
I've
pound of Italian cookies?"
right,
You're getting a variety of that.
right,
Like
right.
some of them are good, some of them stink.
Yeah. You know what we used to have a really good bakery was DePietro's in Malden
The
on
wing place?
Highland Ave in Malden.
Was that a wing place or did I just get wings there?
You may have gotten wings there. So now I believe it's a laundromat. But back in the day when I was growing up, there was the DePietro's pizza place, which that was my favorite pizza growing up was DePietro's pizza. Like that. Oh man, I wish I could go back. Like that pizza was unreal. It was by far my favorite.
I think we used
Um,
to go there for wings.
and then next
Highland
to it,
Ave's
like
across the street, or Highland Ave had the
it's
ice
across the street. It's across the street from the Big A, Spataforas,
Yeah.
Spataforas.
That's Highland Ave, right?
Yes,
Okay, so I yeah, to Peaches. We used to go for wings.
it's literally across the street from the Big A.
Is that a convenience store?
Oh
You're talking
no,
about
it's a sub shop, dude. Everyone knows the
bro,
Big
you
A.
are talking the wrong fucking side of
I know
Medford
you
for me.
grew up on
First of all,
the
it's in
like the
Malden.
complete other side. Yeah,
So
I
never
know.
mind, it's in Malden. I spent no time in Malden.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and I
never went to
spent a lot
Malden.
of time over in Malden.
But like if you and I want to talk Winchester, let's go ahead because I got us to fucking Burlington without actually knowing where the fuck I was going. I drove by fucking memory on Christmas Day. And I literally like I got in a rotary and I go, I think this is the right way.
Yeah.
I go, I don't know if it is.
Yeah, I love doing shit like that. You're like, ah, this looks kind of vaguely familiar. I
Actually,
feel like it's this way.
we drove past Colonial. Drove
Oh
past
yeah.
Four Corners.
Yeah. Shout out to the old liquor store. They sold that one, which sucks because that was the original. They kept the one over by Market Basket. Um,
Also in Woburn.
yes. Yeah. Over Mishwam Road.
Yep.
Um, So yeah, what were we saying? Oh, DePietros. So um it was the main the spot, and then attached to it in the same building on the side was a bakery.
No clue.
And they would it was like your classic fucking Italian bakery. Everything was fresh. Like anytime you went in there, the smells were incredible. And then obviously you walk through the door because there was a door connecting them inside, and then it's like, oh, now it smells like pizza, and it's incredible. I fucking love DePietros, but a few years ago, well, I mean, could be almost 10 years ago at this point. Um, I think they sold a while back. Like they might have sold it like 15 years ago, 15, 20, whatever. And they kept it around for a little while, but then they just couldn't keep it up. So they sold the bakery and they turned it into a laundromat. So it's wicked fucking weird. If you drive there now, there's a like there's a pizza shop or a wing shop, depending on how you what do you
I
know it
thought it was a
from.
wing store, but
And literally
I'll
the
tell you, Malden
same
is not my
building,
territory.
in the same building inside, there's a laundromat.
It happens.
Yeah. But it's because it
Actually,
used to be a bakery.
my Italian bakery used to be in Somerville.
Yeah, Italo's.
No, that's still Medford. My parents
What's
used to like for desserts and cookies and stuff. We used to
Mhm.
go past Trump Field, and it was called Caradona's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That used to be our spot.
Yeah, we used to get stuff from there. I've had something. They used to do well, I'm sure they did a lot of stuff, but
They probably did fucking Strufoli.
I remember it was they had white boxes with the gold Caradonna written on the top that we used to get for desserts. But yeah, I don't know why I remember that. I remember a dessert box from a fucking a place in Somerville that I probably haven't seen that box since I was like fucking 9 years old. but I remember it. I'm fucking retarded.
Yep.
Yep. Well, on that note, shout out to anisette cookies. They're fucking delicious. I'm gonna eat the shit out of the rest of them and keep being fat. So that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Hit that button up above. We hit 100 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. We finally have 100 people subscribed to the show
Well, now I got a
on
new
YouTube.
computer, so that should be worth like,
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple million, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we should be at 1,000 by next week, probably. Um, so yeah, if you're an audio only guy, subscribe over there too. Hit the like button. That's what I forgot on YouTube. If you're watching this video, hit the like button down below. Tell everybody you know about the show. Tell them to subscribe too, even if they don't listen. Just tell them to subscribe. The subscribing numbers help more people find the show. So you can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is sarcasm speaks. Website sarcasmspeaks.com. You go to the merch store, buy all kinds of merch, and then also support the sponsors of the show in the show notes below. All the promo codes and everything are down there, and the links as well to get you to their websites. So support them, and help by supporting us. So until next time, good night, everybody.